She celebrates, arms aloft, punches down.
There's a problem with Sha'Carri Richardson, and because of that, she's hated by so many track and field fans across the world. Sha'Carri Richardson is a very decent 100-meter sprinter. She's one of the best that is in the world right now, and no well-thinking track and field fan can deny that. They cannot take that away from Sha'Carri Richardson. She has great potential, she has great talent. In fact, she is the one responsible for a dent in Jamaica's dominance recently. Think about it. She was the only sprinter in recent time who was able to stand up against the Jamaican sprinters Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Lane Thompson and Shericka Jackson. And yes, now we're seeing Julian Alfred coming in. If we are to be honest, before Julian Alfred, Sha'Carri Richardson was the only sprinter in the world who stood a chance against the Jamaican Big Three. Think about it. So I'm just using this to put the context of how good Sha'Carri Richardson is. But there's a problem with Sha'Carri Richardson, and because of that, she's hated by so many track and field fans across the world.
We ask you some questions, Sha'Carri?
Maybe they don't hate her as a person per se, but there is something about Sha'Carri Richardson that I'm going to point out in this video that causes many people to have a strong dislike for Sha'Carri Richardson. Are they right in doing so? Maybe not, but I want you to look at this. Now, think about the Olympic Games that just ended. We saw Julian Alfred beating Sha'Carri Richardson into second place. Of course, most persons thought that Sha'Carri had that one in the bag, but Julian Alfred, or Caribbean girl, she had something different to say. Big up to Julian Alfred because she's a great sprinter, one that we'll have to watch out for going forward. She's going to pose a serious problem for every other top sprinter, Jamaicans or not. So yes, Sha'Carri Richardson lost the final to Julian Alfred. And you know what struck me about all of this? When the time for the press conference, I saw Julian Alfred alone doing that press conference. Sha'Carri Richardson was nowhere to be found. Now, I'm saying this, if Sha'Carri Richardson only wants to do press conference and interviews when she's on the winning side, it makes her a sore loser in my book. That's one of the attitude that people don't like about Sha'Carri Richardson. She's happy when she's the one winning, but as long as Sha'Carri Richardson is not winning, it's as if she's all up into her feelings and she doesn't want to do any interview. She doesn't want to talk to the media. She just wants to move right along and head into her little corner and for everybody to forget that she lost the race. And that to me makes her a very sore loser. Now, if you can recall, remember the beef that Sha'Carri Richardson had with the Jamaicans before Jamaicans are now so accepting of Sha'Carri Richardson. The beef that she had was as a result of this very same behavior. She came off in a way that sounded as if she was kind of disrespecting the Jamaican athletes. And that's where the beef started, because she lost to the Jamaicans and she lost in a bad way, because before that she was really, trash talking and all of that, and she got beaten properly. When that took place, Sha'Carri Richardson ran away from the media houses. She did not want to do an interview. And this is like a thing for Sha'Carri Richardson now. Whenever she underperforms, it would seem to me as if she feels that she's above criticism, or she should not be talked about, or she should not be interviewed. She only wants to be in the spotlight when it's all about her, and that can never work. That's one of the reasons why she's disliked by so many people. And again, I'm not supporting any form of dislike and all of that, but I'm saying this attitude again and again is rubbing some people in the wrong place. It doesn't look good for me. I think she's at a spot where she's a professional athlete and she must learn how to deal properly with losing. You're not always going to win. There's no athlete that is always going to win. The greatest sprinter that we have ever seen, Usain Bolt, he lost his race and he took it gracefully. Usain Bolt was at a place where he was expected to win that world championships, retired and walk away into the sunset. Well, Justin Gatlin had something different up his sleeve, and Usain Bolt had to settle not for second place, but he had to settle for a bronze in the 100-meter finals, and he took it gracefully. It was his final race, and yes, he didn't want to lose. He wanted to win and leave at the top of the game. But of course, it's not always going to be like that. And we never see him and Justin Gatlin having that brawl. As a matter of fact, what Justin Gatlin did at the end of the race is shocking to so many people. Even to this day, they don't understand what is happening. Justin Gatlin saluted the man in a way to show his respect that, listen man, you have done it, and I've tried this all my life, and finally I'm getting the upper hand. And of course, that was it. There are many times when Justin Gatlin lost the race and he had to do the interviews. He still had to go there. He still had to face the camera because that's a part of his job. But Sha'Carri Richardson is doing things quite differently. She doesn't want to face the mirror when she's not on top, and that cannot be. If you always want to be on top, then be on top and work with what comes. But if it's a case where you're not winning and you're in second or third place, you need to learn how to do it. The sport is not just about a single athlete. That's not good for the sport. To me, it looks like bad sportsmanship. Trust me, I don't like it. When Sha'Carri Richardson wins, she's going to be all over the place, jumping and prancing. She's going to be creating a scene. And of course, everybody's going to know that she wins. So whenever she loses, she should face the music just the same. Nonetheless, Sha'Carri has come a very long way. This is a better Sha'Carri in terms of attitude that we are seeing now in comparison to when she just came onto the scene. So she will learn it along the way, but we are just calling it out and saying that some people are disgusted over it. And I personally, I don't like it either. It doesn't look good for the sport. Go out there and face the music and let us know what went wrong in your race. And let us know and tell us that you're coming back to do better, and tell your competitor that watch out, I'm coming. That's good for the sport. It builds up that rivalry and creates the excitement that track and field needs. So I'm saying that is one thing why sometimes persons are finding it so hard to really love Sha'Carri Richardson. And in clarifying, I mean find it hard to love her as an athlete, not as a person, because we don't support hate in any form. But of course, in sport, rivalries are going to be there and the fans are going to be split. It doesn't matter how we want to take it. Sport is about the rivalry and sport is all about rivalry and being dominant and being aggressive on the field of play, not off the field of play.